What's up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of Cocktail Talks and Portraits. My name is Jesse. I'm going to be your host today, and I'm here with the famous.
Nobody really. I'm just a guy chilling here, and my name is Lucien.
He's being humble, Mr. Lucien Openge. This is the first episode. It's not going to be the same like this every time. It's going to be way different. This is just a basic Q&A for you to get to know us a little bit, for us to, share what our thoughts are. You guys have sent in like a lot of questions, so we're going to try and go through a lot of them, and we're going to try and answer them to the best of our abilities. Yes, some questions might not be answered, some might be answered, so we're going to try our best. And so some of the questions are very like serious questions, or they're like creative based.
Oh, yeah,
But some other questions are just like terrible. This is like for fun.
for dumb questions.
So yeah, I think we're just gonna start with 2-3 serious ones, and I slide in like a dumb one, like a funny one, and then we're gonna switch it to the serious again. So it can keep us entertained. So basically, if you guys don't know what Cocktail Portraits is, Cocktail Talks and Portraits. So it's gonna be something that we want to do at least an event every couple of months. It could be 3, 4, 5, 6 months in difference or something. But we want to create a place where you guys can grab a session, come into the studio, whether it be this studio or any other studio where we're gonna be at, and we're gonna have cocktails ready. I'm working on some delicious recipes for cocktails.
Right on.
So far, we have 3 cocktails that I think are going to be available. We're going to have the stuff to make them, so I'm going to make it in front of you. And then, you get to enjoy a cocktail, get to dress nice, look bougie, go the whole 9 yards. And then we get to do portraits. We get to do almost like a little interview like this as well, where we sit down and chat with you. Especially if we think you're very interesting, it's going to make it easy for us to talk with you, grab your portrait. And the portraits, sometimes they don't have to be in the studio. The portraits might just be at where you are, like where you live or what you do. If we find that very interesting, something we want to put on camera. So if you're a fisherman, it doesn't make sense for me to bring you in the studio. I'd love to come to where you work at, spend a day with you, or spend a couple hours with you. So yeah, that's the premises of Cocktail Talks and Portraits. Do you want to jump into the question? Do you have something you want to say?
Not straight to the question.
All right. We have the first question from one of our very good friends, Yashi. Shout out Yashi. She's an incredible editor. What are your favorite apps / softwares for editing videos and photos? We'll start with you. I'm gonna ask them. You just answer, and then I'll go my answer after.
I don't make videos, so that wouldn't apply to me.
He's been running away from making videos.
No.
You have to make videos.
They're just too difficult.
Very soon.
Yeah, we'll see. But for apps, I use Visco and Lightroom, just a mobile Lightroom or Lightroom CC on the computer. Visco on the phone. I think that's about it.
I think for me, I envy people who are able to edit on the phone, because I can't. It's just small. Yeah. Unless I have an iPad, it just makes sense. But I've seen people edit on an iPad, and I'm like, okay, dope.
That's pretty cool.
This is what I'm trying to. This is look good. Like you have a pencil, but with me and my finger trying to adjust stuff on the phone. I used to do it before, but I got so used to working on a computer that editing on the phone now seems complicated.
Okay.
And then the tools that I use on the computer, sometimes we don't have them on the phone at all. Because for me, editing photos, I use Lightroom Classic CC and Photoshop. Both. Any image that I edit in Lightroom has to go through Photoshop. It doesn't mean like I'm doing some crazy thing.
Yeah.
Just like we're touching little details.
I don't touch Photoshop.
It's a good spot though.
Yeah.
It's a very good spot.
I like to keep my workflow simple.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Not too complicated.
But I think especially if you shoot editorial stuff, sometimes that Photoshop will be needed.
Like I might learn a few things this summer.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, and then for videos, I always go with Premiere Pro. That's what I've used. That's what I've always been used. For the phone, I edit using an app called VN. VN. It's pretty basic, but I also love it because I can take my color, like my LUTs, which are lookup tables that I use on Premiere, and put them on my phone, and I can use them in VN.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I've been hearing good stuff about CapCut as well.
Yeah, there's
So
that.
yeah, I've heard CapCut is very, very good. So yeah, either one, you can't go wrong really. So you might as well just give it a shot.
I use clips from Apple.
Yeah, but this is Yashi. So if for Yashi, specifically Yashi, I'd say get on Premiere.
Premiere?
Yeah, because she's already good at anything on the iPad, on the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's time to jump into Premiere. Even for me, anything I film with my phone and I need to edit something quick, I would rather put it on Premiere because I have way more control, and then export it, color it in there. So yeah.
I think for me, editing is more flexibility.
Yeah.
Not
But also, you might, if you don't want to pay for Premiere, you could go for the free version of DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, for you, I'd say, since you haven't touched Premiere, don't touch it. Premiere is just a heartache. You might as well just jump straight to DaVinci. It's free, and you have a lot of stuff that they use in Hollywood. So yeah, you might as well do that.
Right on.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Second question from Miss Anissa. It says, how do you know when the lighting is correct when you're taking a photo? In this case, she said on the phone / on camera. In this case, how do you know this is the right lighting, or this is the? So she's put in parentheses ISO. So it might be either the lighting as you see the lighting, or the ISO that you set on your camera.
I know it's a simple question, but it's a bit complicated. The light, I mean, you shape the light depending on the look you want. Like if you want more shadows, if you want to go deep, you make the photo look stark. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a very layered question, because in this case I would ask, are you shooting natural light, or are you shooting artificial light?
Yeah.
So if it's natural light like the sun and everything, I would say download an app that tracks the sun, because then you know where the sun is at all times. Because you hear people saying don't shoot in harsh light, because harsh light is way above shooting down at the person, and it creates something they call raccoon eyes.
Yeah.
So where you have like these dark shadows under your eyes. So that is of course not ideal. But if that's the only time you shoot, then I'd say bring in a reflector and then put it under the person so that it shoots light straight to the face and removes those shadows from under the eyes. But if you don't want to do all that, just track the sun, see when it's at a 45-degree angle from the person, I'd say.
Yeah.
Specifically sunset sometimes, it's the most beautiful warm light, or blue hour, depending on your stylistic choice of what light you want. But I think it's subjective.
Yeah, it just depends on the look you're going for. That would be the right light for the scenario.
So, yeah. I don't think there's such a thing as bright light, because even for ISO settings, I'm a firm believer in cranking up the ISO.
Yeah,
like some people look at the ISO I use sometimes and they're like, how the fuck did you do that? Because I shoot at 6,000 or higher sometimes, depending on where I'm shooting. So that's what I'm saying, depending on the conditions. If I'm shooting a concert, I don't mind my ISO going crazy high, because I don't want to compromise my shutter or my aperture. So yeah, it's subjective, I think.
Yeah, it's just like you get the exposure based on the look you're going for. You just have to make sure everything is balanced.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's the answer.
Yeah.
As long as you're not clipping anything.
Anything, yeah.
Whether it be the white side, the highlights, or harsh shadows, as long as you're not making them too dark or
too bright, then you have the perfect exposure.
Because then that's when grain starts to happen, and that's where underexposure and overexposure starts to happen.
Yeah.
I think that was the answer.
Good question.
Yeah. And then
Good question.
another question from Key. This is my personal coach. This is not even photography related.
All right.
This is a personal question.
Hey.
Do you think the lowest point in your life made a positive impact in some way or no? That is deep.
The lowest point. Oh no, you go first.
Do you think the lowest point in your life made a positive impact in some way or no? I feel like I'm a therapist. I'd say, I feel like if you're able to make it out of your lowest point, it made some sort of positive impact already. Because you don't go out of there the same. Because there's a saying that you don't really take failures, you only take lessons.
Yeah.
But also it's only if you decide to learn from it. Because you could take as many failures as possible and you still don't learn from it, and you're repeating the same errors over and over, expecting a different result, which is insanity. So in this case, you're
just a fool.
Yeah, it did do nothing. But I think in this case, because you wanted to go personal with ours, for mine, absolutely. Lowest point could probably, for some people, it could be just university in general. Every semester hits a low point where you're like, is this even worth it? So I think for me, it did a positive impact, but for some, it might not be a positive impact. But I think the only way it's going to make a positive impact is if you understand that this is getting you ready for being able, whenever you face the same challenge, you're going to be better prepared, or you're going through this for a specific reason, like you're trying to get to something.
Yeah.
So you have to go through it. There's nothing special about you. You have to know that you're going to struggle in some way or another. You might not struggle as the others. Matter of fact, you might be even better, but you're still going to struggle regardless. So, yeah.
Lowest point for me. I think yes, in some ways, and no, in some other ways. Because the lowest point is
Keep going.
My lowest point. Yes, good and bad, but overall positive. Because the lowest point is like a crossroad. It can either go in a positive way or a negative way. It just depends on your perspectives, your views, and however you're feeling. I think it's the turning moment for you to become something you want to be, or just stay the same. It's just the way you approach it. You can change it, you cannot change it. I think mine changed me in good and bad ways, but overall positive.
Overall positive, yeah. If you're still here and having some sort of hope, then it's positive. Right. I think it's only negative if you make it out of it and you just have no hope for life. Because I mean, like, you can see it like to some other people. Like, I can only just like go back to like for example, like this is an extreme example, like the 1994 genocide, for example. Some people, like, your whole family died. You're the only one left.
Yeah.
And then you made it out. At what cost? Now, some of them, they don't recover from that. I know people who recovered from it, like, congrats, but like, there's some people who never got a chance to recover from it. So for them, I'd say that their lowest made a negative impact on their life, because now their brain is different and they have no positive outlook on life anymore. So yeah, it just makes it tougher. Yeah, I think it depends on also what kind of person you are. If you're a resilient person, or if you're somebody who's soft, then it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a hustle.
It's going to be a hustle. That was a good question, man.
Good question.
Thank you, Key. Next question so I'm going to combine these two. Yeah. So the first question is from Gabrielle, who we did a photo shoot with very recently. No. Gabrielle.
Okay.
It was last Saturday. We did a portrait, yeah, Boutillier. Yeah, we had a, yeah, so,
Sorry to butcher your name.
yeah, sorry. We did a photo shoot with her last weekend, which was fantastic. She killed it. She absolutely killed it. So I'm going to combine her question with another question from a lady, one of my friends called Edwige.
Okay.
So Gabrielle's question is, when did you fall in love with photography? And Edwige's question is, how did you get into photography? So how did you both get into photography? When did you both fall in love with photography?
Well, falling in love with photography, I don't think we're there yet. We're still getting to know each other. You know, we're in the process.
It's a toxic relationship.
You know, we're going a few dates. We're still trying to figure it out.
Still trying to figure it out.
I don't think we're in
I don't
love
think
yet.
we can figure it out.
Yeah.
You just deal with it.
It's like I like you and you like me on my good days.
So we're not official yet.
But we're not there yet. But I'm sure we'll get there. It's I don't. Photography keeps me sane. I don't know. I just have these bunch of ideas in my head, and it's a way for me to stay sane and create something beautiful. When I think I'm getting to know photography.
The first time you picked up a camera, whether it be film or digital, the very first time.
I think I was 14, 13.
Back home?
Yeah. My friends used to dance and they used to go to competitions. And
is it them? I think we had
break dance and all those kind of things.
See, I think because we had the same wave that was happening in all at the same time.
Competitions.
Break dancing groups.
Yeah,
crews.
Yeah.
Mon Dieu. Yeah, we had an epidemic of those.
Yeah.
There was an era.
So the boys used to dance.
Yeah.
So I'll film their videos and then I'll have to edit them. Well, it's crappy edit, but I'm 14.
Yeah.
And then I used to use my dad's camera. He didn't like it, but I'll steal it from time to time. If you find this video, it's my man. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Your dad used to do photos?
No, he just had a camera just for
fun?
Just for himself.
Yeah.
He didn't like me touching it.
He's not using it as well.
For good reasons. I was a very interesting kid. You give me a toy, I'll open the toy to find out what's inside.
That's fair.
That's not fun for a camera.
He was fair. Yeah, he was fair.
He was fair.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I think for camera, taking photos, I think I was 14, 13, and with falling in love with photography is something I'm getting to enjoy every day. We're not there yet. Maybe this is the year we'll get official.
Hey, man.
But it's a process. I love the craft. Being in love, I think, is we'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there someday soon.
I'm not
saying.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on you.
I'd say the first time I picked up a camera, I'd say it was the same thing when I was a kid. My mom used to have these film cameras that she kept in like her tiroir. How do you call tiroir?
Drawer?
English. Drawer. We're gonna mix in a lot of French, so don't be shocked. Yeah, so she had a camera she kept in, and I always sneaked in her room because either we were trying to find sugar or like something, because they kept everything in their room.
Oh yeah.
Which was
African parents.
Yeah, African parents. They're hiding everything. So whenever I'm trying to find something to play around with or to look at album photos or stuff.
Yeah.
So for our family, I think one thing they really have is a well-documented history.
Same for
They
me.
have a lot of photo albums. That's something I respect and I
I
appreciate.
have them until I'm 12. After 12,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
But I think we have a lot of them. I think maybe until 15.
Yeah,
But then that's when we started to we're big boys now. We don't.
No more photos.
No, none of that. So yeah, so we had like these big 3 or 4 albums where we have like our auntie's wedding, our parents' weddings, like family on vacation, a lot of different stuff. So I used to like really look at them a lot.
Yeah.
And all of them will be like a print, but then behind it would be like a negative.
Yeah.
So at that time, I didn't know what is that. I didn't know what a
Oh
negative.
yeah, those negative. They
I just
stick
I just remember I used to just like look at it through a light.
You
This
wear,
is some
you wear
weird
them like
shape,
sunglasses.
like it's inverted, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This looks trippy. I don't know what it is. But then she used to have a film camera. I used to grab it. I didn't know how to load film. I didn't know that I needed film. I just used to just take it, crack it, and just take photos. In my head, I think I used to think that it was working, but it wasn't really working. Of course, there was no film in there. But I think that's the first time I picked it up, and I was like, okay, this is nice. Then I started doing photos on my phone.
Yeah.
I loved it. Then one of my aunties, Tante Fifi,
Yeah.
she
Shout out to you.
she had a camera. Cause she used to live in Belgium.
Oh,
Like
nice.
my whole mom family lived in Belgium because of the war.
Yeah.
So when she used to come back home for vacay, I looked in her bag. She had, if I remember well, it was a Canon EOS T7.
Okay.
So I take the T7 because she was on vacation, so she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
So the camera is there. I take it, I'm around the house, I'm taking photos, I'm doing this. That's when I was like, this is it. This is it. But then
The love of my life.
I tried to convince her so much
To leave you the
to
camera.
leave me the camera.
Big
She
no.
just said, hell no. Hell no, big man. This ain't happening. And she gave me at that time she gave me a challenge. She was like, oh, I'll give you the camera if you lose so and so pounds. I was like, listen, man, fuck you, first of all. Why would you do that? And then
Just
that
be
whole
yourself.
summer,
Yeah.
I was working out.
You
Working out so
wanted
that I can get that camera. Every time I'd be lazy, I'd be like, I need that camera. I need
T7
that camera.
Canon.
I never got the camera. Like, hey man, to this day, auntie,
So-
I need my camera.
It's all
I
good.
better send it. I don't even think she has it no more, I think. But yeah, that was the first time I got it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try my best. But so from then, I used to use borrowed cameras.
Yeah.
Because I never had my own camera. Whether it be from school, school had cameras. But I used to just go first in line and be like, can I take photos of the events at school? They give me the camera. I go around taking photos and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, fast forward, my first job here in Canada, my second paycheck, first paycheck was rent. My second paycheck, I didn't even think about it. I just bought a camera.
Nice.
All of it. I didn't have no food, didn't have nothing. Just put it on like T6.
You gotta start
Hey.
somewhere.
Got a T6 and then boom. I was excited, man. I had a Snapchat memory. It came up and it was like me going around Victoria Park in the middle of winter, January, taking photos. I wasn't feeling the cold. Just running around with the
I
camera.
mean, you're excited.
Yeah, I was
So
excited.
the cold is gone.
Yeah, adrenaline was on high. I was taking photos of everything. Photos were trash. They were trash. But I was happy though. The
Alright.
moment, oh my God, I was excited. So yeah, fast forward to now. In love with it?
Maybe.
It's a toxic relationship. Every now and then, like you wake up one day, you have the idea, you're excited. You were excited, you're just like, I want to create. You have these visuals. Especially for me, it's sometimes after watching like a beautifully shot show. Like if I watch, for example, what's that show called? Do you know Franklin Saint?
No.
Or the guy like Damson Idris?
Or
He played the Snowfall.
I'm seeing.
Yeah, the Snowfall, it was beautifully shot show, like the aesthetic, everything. So every frame, it gets you excited about shooting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh damn, I took screenshots of so many things. I'm like, I can't wait for the summer so I can try and shoot this stuff. So those kind of stuff will get you excited. But then you have days where I'm like you say, I might just sell this camera, just move on to better things, like work a 9 to 5.
It's too much.
Yeah, because sometimes like it's not a guaranteed career. So it's like, hey man, you either make it or you don't. So the thought of not making it sometimes is there. And you're like, oh, just might as well just start selling everything. Just keep it moving. So yeah. In love, not there yet. One day though.
So if you didn't get paid, would you still do photography?
I think so.
Right on.
I think so. I think I'd always make time to do it, regardless. I'd always find a way.
Like for me, what made me like it, it's mostly people. I don't know, I just like they're interesting. You're taking their portraits and you're interacting with them. That's the most fun.
I was thinking about it the same way the other day. I was thinking about it. I was like, the stuff I want to shoot is not the stuff I shoot because I know it's not going to make me money to begin with. Because what I want is just doing interactions with people. Because if it was up to me, I'm planning to do this. I'll just pull up in the street somewhere where there's a nice shade, or where you can set up a nice shade, set up the camera, and then just talk to random people.
Because for me, I've met a lot of cool people. For me, it's like, hey, we sit down, we talk, we take photos, we laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, you don't need to pay me. Like, the interaction for me is more than enough. And you get cool photos, I get the interaction. It's just like an even exchange. But if you're paying me, hey,
I think it just
you're
becomes,
going to take the money.
Yeah, I think it just becomes depressing, or like you lose the interest when it comes to you having to figure out how am I going to make money from this. But then it sucks the fun out of creating. Because now you're no longer creating for that interaction. You're solely creating just because you know you have to pay bills, or you have to buy this new stuff, or whatever you need in that moment of emergency. So it's like, if I could have enough money on the side, but still have photography, I think I'd completely keep photography money free. For me at least, I wouldn't want to make too much money out of it, just enough for me to be able to do some projects for fun. You know, sessions for fun where I don't have to worry about the person like paying me the money. That's why I'm like, every time I get a chance, if I really don't need the money, I won't ask you for the money. So,
I mean, just someone sitting there, they're awkward, they're shy, they're thinking too much, and you just come in and be like, okay, do this. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, you can talk to them, make them comfortable, and then you get to see the side of themselves that they want to see in the photo.
Yeah, like you guys get to talk a little bit.
Yeah.
You get to know each other a tiny little bit, you know. They get to understand where you're coming from, how you're sometimes I think for most of my sessions, I'd say maybe 20 minutes is spent into talking. Like, I'm asking you about your job, about the things you like.
Even if me and you, we don't like the photos, if we had fun, I don't.
Yeah.
The photo, we can still do them another time.
We can redo it. Yeah. That was a very good set of questions, though. I think it goes into the next one, which is, what are the challenges of photography as a career?
I don't think I'm thinking that far, but
For me, I want to. Ideally, I'd be a creative 100% of the time. I think right now, percentage-wise, on like 100 scale, I'm at like 75% full time. I mean, regardless what the other stuff I do is also creative related. So, but I wouldn't count it as something that I want to do as forever. But when I say forever, is looking at somebody like, I don't know if you know, like, for example, like RJ Brony, or like Andre Wagner, or like Joe Greer.
Yeah, I mean,
those are people who are like 100% into like photography and videography. So ideally, that's what I would do, 100%. The challenges?
Well, one, it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, so
if you want to have it as a hobby,
this is the challenge.
Too expensive.
Like, even like, for example, for people who know, I think we talked about it on IG.
Yeah.
My 2 cameras, photo cameras, died. Now imagine one of them, fixing it, something I didn't mess up. It was an internal error of the camera.
It's out of warranty.
It wasn't even me. And then you pay 100,000 bags, like $1,000 just to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a full bag.
It's crazy.
To fix it. Now, if I want to buy a new one, let's see. What's the EOS R5C? That's what, 5 bands?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4,500. If I'm trying to get a good lens that is versatile, so that I don't buy another lens like a 28 to 70, like 24 to 70, that's another $3,000.
We're already at
4,000. We're not counting taxes, so we're already at 9,000. Extra set of batteries, maybe like $200. Okay, and then extra 2 memory cards, or maybe 3. then you're looking at another 200, 300. And then on top of that, you have to buy insurance for sure. If I'm working an R5C with all these extra stuff and $1,000 in gear, I'm buying the insurance. I'm a person who hates insurance, but I'll buy it in this case. So
the challenge beside the money, I mean, there's a community here, but I mean, everybody's just in their own
little clicks,
doing their own things.
Yeah.
Which is okay with me.
But I think is creative-wise, the city we live in, which if you don't know, we live in Charlottetown. The city we live in is not the best when it comes to like creative stuff. So I'd say ideally we would have more creative stuff happening here. So it will be like Montreal or like the vibe of the creative scene in Toronto is what we lack here. I don't think even Halifax has that much creativity going on.
They have to push it.
There's
a lot of creative people.
Yeah.
Just come out.
But also here is like I said, there's like people group up together into their little groups. I could put a call out to models, for example, and it would still be the same people that respond who would be down to do it. Like nothing wrong with it. I really love them people, but sometimes I can't shoot the same person.
Well, some people understand. They're like shy. They don't think they're models.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have to be a model really. It's like
to do that.
You have to do a shoot. It's like
you don't need to be a model at all.
Just come on, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna bring this beautiful idea to life, and you're gonna be the center of it. So just join the show.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Caravan.
Next question we got. This one, Anissa was like, "How is y'all's love life?" I should put like a smirk emoji.
Interesting. That's the question. That's the answer.
That's the answer.
Interesting.
Wait, man. I know there's a right and a wrong answer here.
Which one?
There is. Don't you know that there's this meme of a lady that went on Instagram, or like Instagram or TikTok, one of those two. She went on and she said, "Oh, here's a photo of my man. Before I make it official with him, I just want to ask the ladies out there, is any of y'all this man's girl? So that I know." So like the right answer here, she's smart. The right answer here is there somebody out there? They'll be like, "That's mine. That one right there, that's mine."
Love life, very fun, entertaining, and interesting. We live in the dream
for sure. Hey, as for me, off the market, man. Off the market. If you know what they say, you snooze, you lose. So everybody who's been snoozing, you just lost.
Yeah.
Hey man, boys off the market. We're almost there. One question from it says, wait, how do I read this name? How do you read that? Arush? That's la meuf qui était avec lui pour le bail là. Café.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So the question is, what's the goal of the podcast? It's not really going to be a podcast. It's just going to be chit chats. We don't want to make it like a full podcast. A full podcast requires you to be like consistently, fully entertaining, bringing topics and all that. I think it's going to be more of like small mini docs. Yeah, we're going to try and find people who are interesting and fun. I'm going to take care of the video and some photos. He's going to be mainly taking care of photos. If you find like somebody, like I love old people. If you find like an old fisherman who got stories, listen, I'm there.
Or if you got stories yourself,
if you got stories yourself, something interesting, or if you want to point us to people who are interesting, listen, just tell us. We just want to create some fun pieces. I think that's something that we lack here on the island. There's nothing really showcasing the people in the community. I feel like photos are good, but if you take videos attached to photos, oh, that's beautiful.
Then it's us in the moment.
It's perfect.
Good time.
Yeah. Especially the old man that you see every time on the street. You don't know his story. So you never know. One day you might tune in and you just see I was taking a photo of him or doing a little documentary piece on him. Ideally we'll find a way to get paid to do it, which will be the fun part, because then we keep doing what we normally want to do while still making money. So that would be dope. That would be dope. From Laura on the Shore, guys, go follow her. She's a very interesting creative, so talented. She lives in New Brunswick. Musician. I think she paints. She does travel content. She explores places. So she's very good. She said, how do you think artists self-sabotage and how can it be overcome? Can be overcame, sorry. How do artists self-sabotage? I think you want to answer first or should I go?
You can go.
I think it's an easy way I've seen that a lot of artists self-sabotage, comparison. If you keep comparing, like there's healthy comparison. Of course, there's like, you should be always comparing your skills to the next person, especially if you're in a competitive market. You want to compare your skills to know what you lack and where you should improve. But there's unhealthy comparison where it's like, it becomes unhealthy when you're comparing yourself to copy, right? If you're comparing yourself to like, there's also good in copying because you're learning. But then now, if you have no identity outside that copying, then you're fucked. Because then you're not really creating what's authentically you, what's authentically that looks like you. You're just creating out of, oh, this is how I think the other person will shoot it. I'm gonna try and shoot it this way. I'm gonna try and use the same colors. I'm gonna try and use the same format so that I can, post it. So I think that's one of the ways that people, like, that comparison is gonna always lead you to sabotaging yourself or thinking that you're not good enough. Because you're gonna see people who've been, shooting for 10 plus years, and comparison only takes a couple seconds for you to compare yourself to them, whereas sometimes you might just be shooting for 1 year or maybe 2 years.
Like these people are, like it took them time to get there.
It took them time to get there.
You're comparing yourself to them and you're stealing your.
But the thing about social media is that their work is in front of your eyes. Every time they post, you see it.
But it's a good thing. It's like it's a judge. It's like you're not there yet, but you can be there. So instead of beating yourself up, just learn from it. And like use it as a learning opportunity instead of like comparing. It's like, you want to be like them, which is a good thing, but you're not there yet.
Yeah.
Which means you have to keep practicing,
keep working,
and get better, and all of that.
Yeah.
Right on. Self-sabotage.
That's good. That's very good.
It's been a moment.
Oh, I have a question specifically for you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Me?
It says, explain the aesthetic behind 70s studio and why you chose that to be your main aesthetic. Which I think is the aesthetic we're gonna go with this. We're gonna try to do everything like
Who asked that question?
Loic.
Hey, look, yeah.
Hey, low-key, hey. Like, and then we're gonna go with a film look because it's a look I love. Because I remember with the video, we did a video where we were playing pool, and I played around with film colors, halation, everything. And it's, when somebody commented and they were like, "That halation though is looking nice," I knew that was it. I was like, yeah, that's the one I like. So for you, why did you go with 70s studio? And
Why 70s studio? Okay.
Why do you choose that aesthetic?
I don't know. My parents were born in the 70s. I like their photos, the vintage photos from the 70s. The outfits were great.
The outfits were great.
Great from the 70s. Yeah. What else? I don't know. I think like you were mentioning before, the album photos when you were young. That's where the aesthetic comes from. It's a sense of nostalgia, history, and like you have a deeper connection more to the photo because it looks old. That's the feeling I want. I want to take photos that evoke a certain emotion. They feel old but new.
Yeah, that nostalgia.
Merging the nostalgia and modernity and the fun from the 70s and the fun from today. Just I don't know how to explain it. It's just cool. It's vibrant, full of
No, I
color.
like that. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a way of living. Yeah, it's mostly nostalgia and sense of history, some deep connection, and I don't know, something that could last for time. You know, you still be in the moment.
Yeah,
I like that. It's fun.
it's fun. Yeah, yeah.
Fun for me.
Yeah, you heard it from the man, Seven
Yes, sir.
Studios himself. Another question from Krishna Mwanamboka.
Madam.
What was the hardest part while starting up? I assume she means like photography and career and stuff. Like, what was the hardest part about starting up, public engagement, or finding resources? I think hardest part about starting up, I don't think starting up was hard, because when you start up, you're excited. You just got a camera.
You just want to shoot everything.
Starting up is not a problem. I think staying in.
Once the honeymoon phase is over,
Mhm.
I think you're like,
Staying in is where you're like, oh shit, this is gonna take a lot. Because then the problem is gonna be, oh, now you realize, for example, photography, have to buy Lightroom or all these apps to edit.
all
for
those
example.
expenses that are
Yeah, expenses. It's gonna be always. I think what makes photography inaccessible is the expenses you need to do for it. That's what makes it hard. Like you're gonna be satisfied with the first camera you have, but guess what? That camera is not gonna be enough. The moment you start hearing all these companies dropping new cameras, and you look at a person next to you just keeps buying them like nothing, and you're like, how did they get that? I want to get that. So then now you have to do stuff to make money so you can get that camera, just so the camera they can drop another one. Then you're in this loop of I need to upgrade.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the only hard part about resources is subscriptions. I have to build a website, Squarespace or Wix, or if you find a chance, I don't know if there's any free spots where you can build one that stays up for free.
I think Adobe Portfolio.
Yeah, but you don't get a domain name though. Like,
I mean, it works.
yeah, I mean, it works for sure, but some people want, like, if I'm gonna start to shoot like commercial stuff or like agency where my portfolio has to look great and have to send them a website to look at, I don't want them to go on like wixsite.com/
Adobe, mine is like your name, Adobe Profile.
and then I mean that still works. At least it's with Adobe. That's good. But I think to use that, you still need some sort of subscription, don't you?
I think that one's free.
Free? Oh, okay, that's good then. Yeah. So now you just have those little expenses. If you want to have like a domain name, let's say one day you want to do 70studio.com. For that, you're gonna pay. It's not a lot. So like, I think it's like 20 a year, maybe.
Probably.
I
And
think
Studio.
like 20 a year, which is not too bad. 20 is not too crazy. But now you have the same like 30 or 40 bucks going to Adobe for Premiere, all the apps for Adobe every month. Then on top of that, Squarespace if you use Squarespace.
Right.
If you shoot film, then you're fucked. Because then it's no longer a monthly expenses, it's weekly expenses.
By the film,
Because you buy film, you have to develop it. Unless you have your own lab, in this case, it could go back to monthly expense, where you buy chemicals every month. But then on top of that, you have to sacrifice time
scan.
to do the development. You have to buy scanners. You have to buy folders to keep the film very safe. You know, all these little things. It just adds up.
Yeah.
But in itself, it's good. If you have to make money from it, if it's no longer a hobby and it's a job, that's when it starts to be tricky. I think so, yeah.
You'll be fine. Don't listen to him.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Nike, sponsor us. From one of our friends, you guys should go on Instagram and follow View to Thrill. I'll pop his ID here. Again, a creative, he's a traveler, all that stuff. What he wants to know is lighting and pausing secrets. Lighting and pausing secrets. I think
Pausing is a hard one.
pausing, I like pausing when especially when it comes to editorial stuff. I'm pretty sure we're gonna flash some photos of stuff that we've done. But like posing wise, you just gotta feed your brain a lot of stuff. Be mindful of what you watch. For example, if you look at, for example, David Burbank, or like some of these crazy kind of like talented photographers, they have style, they have ways they pose people. Even for them, they're gonna tell you where they draw their inspiration is. Watch music videos, watch magazine cover shoots. And in this case, I have a ton of magazines. I have a ton of photo books from some of the best photographers that I can think of, and I can just go through them, just learning how they got pose. And then sometimes posing goes hand in hand with the lighting. Depending on what kind of light you have, sometimes it might dictate what kind of posing you do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's just a matter of trial and error. You just gotta put yourself in that position. If you're going to shoot what do they call it? Sunrise or sunset, like that golden hour, you could use that light and shape it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
You could shoot from the shadow side, you could shoot from the light side. Film-wise, at least video-wise, you have to always shoot from the shadow side if you're looking for like that cinematic point of view.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a matter of, I personally think, just to watch a lot of stuff that is well shot. If you're watching a movie, make sure you're low-key paying attention to the cinematic point of view of it. Or if you're watching a BTS of a photographer, watch it from, what made him choose this pose? You know, what was the inspiration from? Go back to the 80s and 70s, look at their editorial shoots back then. The posing was insane. So then go on Pinterest, save some of that, and then use it according to your lighting that you have, I think.
Right on. I think for the pose, it's mostly, you're a photographer, your job is to observe people. And like, if you really watch them, you'll see like these little movements they make, and then you just build on that. Like people, when you're photographing people, they'll give you a lot of clues and they'll map things out for you, and you can photograph them easily.
Yeah, also observe the person.
Yeah, just watch them.
Sometimes they have an interesting jawline, interesting
like moves,
shape, face, hair, eyes, everything, body. You can play around with that.
And then you use those things to like highlight them.
Yeah.
Show them off.
Yeah. Because I think the point of a photograph is, at least that's what I think, I have to photograph a person in two different ways. First way I have to photograph them is the way people see them every day. That's a good reminder, at least in history, of how they look like every day. Second pose is in a way that a lot of people don't get to see. So mostly like an intimate way. It could be like a very close-up portrait in a way that the eye normally doesn't see it that way. So, or like a very far away, or like fully dressed in an editorial piece and then posing them differently. It's just, I think if you're trying to create something creative, you have to try and look at it from a way that eyes don't normally see it every day. Different perspective, yeah. That's a good question.
Boss.
Yeah. One of our friends, Cynthia, she used to live here, she says, come to Ottawa, we want pictures too.
Next year.
Book my flight.
You heard the man.
Book the flights, we're there. I think the idea of this is that it's not only going to stay here. If we have, let's say, a lot of people in Ottawa who would want a session, I'm pretty sure we'll put like a tentative booking post out there.
Yep.
If people would want a book, if we have 20 to 30 people who book, I wouldn't say no to going. Because it would be like, at least in the matter of where our flights are taken care of in the studio, then we can do the shoot and just come back. That would be super fun. I think, this is going to depend on how this coming up cocktail portraits and cocktail talking portraits is going to go. Then I think people are going to get a taste of what it would look like if they give us a chance to shoot with them. So
just come on the show.
If you book in like Toronto and we have like a lot of people who want to book, that would be down to go there. That would be dope. Ooh, good question. One of the guys who live here on the island, Masood Fitz. I think his name is Mohammed. Oh no, Mustafa. I think so. But very drippy guy. Outfit wise, insane. I'll probably get him to do a portrait one day, very soon. So he says, how do you get better at being aesthetically pleasing / visually appealing on social media? He knows it better.
No,
He has a film aesthetic, so let's just go with him.
I mean, is that like a personal page or professional page?
I'm sure he's speaking from a point of view of where he's like an outfit. You shows the outfits and stuff.
Okay.
Like content creator.
Well, I wear cargo pants and hoodies. So
outfit wise, we're probably not the best people.
Yeah, no.
We rock simplicity.
I don't know, but like for your feeds, just try to keep the colors consistent.
I think that's the one.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Because if you break down the word aesthetic, I think aesthetic is just like a word that gets thrown out, but I think aesthetic is going to be a mixture of lighting and
Outfits, looks,
and
colors.
Yeah, and colors. So if you have a fit, Ibra is calling. If you have a fit of earth tone colors, for example, beige, green, like dark forest green, all these colors,
Yeah.
then you have to be mindful of where you shoot it at. Because you can't just do it and go shoot it at somewhere that is blue or orange or stuff. I mean, you could do it if you want to, but I feel like for the sake of color coordination, you have to choose a specific place to shoot it. Yeah, in a way that creates either contrast or blending in. So, depending on how you do it. And the easiest answer, Google a color wheel. If you choose a color here, look at the opposite color that's on the other side. That's its complementary color.
Okay.
So, and then you can use that to kind of like try and like find combination of colors. There's this other website I use. It's called Coolers. I'll pop it on the here, but it's like you lock in, let's say your outfit colors. If it's green, dark green, and beige, you lock those colors in. Then you use the space bar, and it keeps generating random colors.
Yeah.
So you see what matches.
Okay.
Once you have one that feels like a good match, perfect. You can literally copy the hex number, and then you can apply it to be able to find stuff. So now you have an idea of color coordination, and I think also putting in effort into learning how to edit photos and videos. Like there's something good about simplicity. You just want to record with your phone and that's it. But there's always somebody who's also going to go the extra mile. They might shoot with their camera.
Yeah.
They might just be able to edit, color grade it, save that color grade, use it on the next clip, adjust it a little bit. They might go a little bit crazier, extra, and cop a light, buy a light, so that they can shoot their outfits in beautiful lighting. So I think it all depends on like how far do you want to go with it. So just build a workflow that allows you to create freely without the hassle of, damn, I just shot this outfit, I have to go edit it, I have to go do the color grading, damn. Now the moment you start to feel like that, you're gonna be dried out.
Yes,
You're not gonna love it no more. So creating a process, it could be also editing on your phone. There's, like I said, there's little lookup tables that you can use on your phone. That video, you could just pass it through, color grade it, and take it out. I think colors are gonna be essential. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else you wanna add on that?
Nope, I think that's it for me.
I think last question is from Taylor McDougall, one of our good friends.
All right.
Oh, it wasn't a question. She was like, I want to be on Cocktail Time, but with actual cocktails. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Listen,
just bring your own recipe.
if you have a cocktail you want to do, let us know. If you want to do ours, next time here, it's probably going to be some cocktails. Every person we're going to have, we're just going to sit here, just going to have a little sip, talk about some stuff, and then get to shooting.
And living.
Either shooting before or shooting after. One of those, depending on them. So, yeah. Yeah, that would, I think that was most. Oh, I have some two left ones which are just funny. One of our friend, I'm not gonna say his name just because of the question. But he says, I think I have a masturbating addiction.
God damn. Just see it. Excited. I don't know.
In the Bible it says, if your left hand or your right hand is causing you to sin, my guy, cut it. Hey, don't go cutting your hand, by the way. And put a no, don't go cutting your hand. It's a metaphoric approach to things. It's identify what's causing you to stumble, then just don't try to avoid it. Build patterns that make you avoid that. Get an accountability partner, especially if the accountability partner is of a different sex. Then you have to be honest with them. So then it's gonna make you not want to do it. All those kind of stuff. But also find out why you're doing it. It could be loneliness, boredom, or overexposure to different things. Sometimes it may be things that trigger you, like what? Like, I mean, hormones for sure, or shows that you watch, how your feed on Instagram looks. Yeah. What advice do you have for him?
Live it to Jesus.
So Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah.
And then last question from, I'm not gonna say his name again. Why would you even send this? It says ass or booze. From, I don't know if you know. Do you know him?
No.
I think you might actually know him a little bit. Yeah. Listen, man, heart. The heart is the answer. The personality.
I'm watching you, man.
The personality, you know. If the personality shines,
That's a very loaded question.
Listen, man, that's a good way to answer it, though.
Yeah.
The heart and the brain. Those are the two things that's gonna last. You know, once they get old, much of the superficial things are gone.
Older.
Yeah. But that was some good questions, though.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah. Did we miss anything?
You know.
No, I think we covered most of the questions that were asked. I tried to combine most of them.
Sure.
So that they sound the same. But yeah, that was it. Any parting words?
Well,
Leave with the people.
when the link is ready, book your space, your time.
Come spend some time.
We're just gonna get here, keep living, shooting, laughing, just having a good time. Well, I hope you'll be here, because if you miss it, you miss it. It's just, you know, life moves pretty fast, but I'm just here living. Just an opportunity for all of us to share some cocktails, some good stories, and some great photos.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you get a chance to grab a session, please grab a session. It's going to help us, at least so that we can generate interest into this, and then so that we can create some more, especially that the summer is coming up. We want to do one in the spring before a full-on summer.
Yeah.
So that you wear your outfits, you're not too hot, you're not too, like the weather is not killing you. And then we're probably going to create one in the summer. We might just not even do it in the studio. We might do it somewhere, like I'm thinking like a barn on like a mountain, or like a farm, or a beach, or somewhere crazy. We want to try and figure it out. I mean, all depends on the logistics, but yeah.
And the vibe you're feeling. Maybe get a cowboy hat. We go to the barn. We do it the old way.
Yeah, we get some, like a grandma or a grandpa somewhere in the country. Tell them, can we use your barn for this and this? We'll bring up a lot of booze.
Sit down. Just have a good time.
Bring a lot of booze. Bring a lot of people. Everybody wear like your, like, how they call it, picnic attire.
Yeah,
Come enjoy some drinks,
country,
some good views.
style, cool outfits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get living.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. This is probably going to be on YouTube, so go do likes, go do subscribes, and drop a comment if you feel so inclined. We're not going to force you, but we're kind of forcing you. So we'll give you 5 seconds. Go do it.
Just a little reminder.
Just a little reminder, Go do it. It helps us. Even if you don't care about none of this, just go ahead, the like, subscribe, and drop a comment. So at least YouTube can recommend it to somebody who might like it. Even if it's a hate comment, just drop it. Drop it. Just know.
Well, like, why would you hate me?
Well, the thing is, if it's
nice
a hate
guy.
comment, just don't be shocked if you're rude in the comments as well. We gotta serve it to you as well. Just letting you know. So I thank you so much. Remember, go on our IGs. I'm gonna pop his IG right here, right there, and then I pop mine right here as well. Here's both of them. All right, there you go. Go and follow us on IG. Drop us a message if you have some questions, or if you have some things you wanna talk about in the future, and or some cocktail recipes, or if you wanna book for the session ahead of time, let us know. Thank you so much. You'll stay blessed.